Quickly. All right. So what's your name, bud?
Hi, my name is Ruffin Boyette. I'm one of the campers from Camp Lahana, one of the camps that flooded. And I had a first-hand view of the flood, and so the cabins were flooding, and the walls were like they broke down, and all of the campers in those cabins had to go up on the rafters, and they had to wait there until they could swim out. And my brother here, he had to swim out of his cabin.
Really? Here. Do you want to Here, can I mic you up some? Here we go. One moment. Okay. And so you had to swim out of your cabin? Bud?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
So the flood started getting bigger, and it was going up to, we have bunk beds in our cabins, and it was going up to the top bunk, and we had one choice, and we had to swim out of our cabins.
What time was it? Was this
It was
dark?
like, we woke up at
Yeah,
2,
we had to wake up at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
What'd you wake up to? Say people telling you to wake up?
I didn't
Yeah,
fall
people were
asleep.
screaming.
I didn't fall asleep. Like, I couldn't sleep because of the lightning.
Yeah, people were screaming that there was a flood. There was a lot of water on the floor.
Yeah, I was the first one awake, and basically one of the other kids in my cabin, he woke up the counselor, and the counselor was like, what? And then all the other campers woke up to that what? And they're like, oh my god, we're flooding.
Yeah, and some cabins like flooded away,
So what did
but
you
nobody died.
No one died.
Yeah.
We are thankful for that. But on the way here, we saw all of like the other camps destroyed, like obliterated.
And where were can you tell me how'd you guys get out of there? Did they put you guys on buses, or did you have
Yes.
to wait?
Yeah, we had to get on a bus.
Yes, we had to get on a bus. We were in other cabins for like cabins on hills for about 17 hours waiting until
We hosted a
the
cabin.
buses get here, and it was not fun.
It was not fun.
So you guys like sounds like a really long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feeling right now?
Tired. Not hungry. At least not anymore.
All right. I'm glad you guys are okay. Thanks for talking with us. I appreciate it.
Our next guest, Tara Bradburn's daughter, Callie McAlery, was one of them. Luckily, she was rescued and is all right. Callie, the fact that you are, I guess, one of the older campers, you're 16, right? And that put you up on Senior Hill, and that's part of the reason you're alive today.
Yes, sir.
Take us back to the night of July 3rd. I guess everybody in your cabin, is that what you call them, went to bed?
Yeah.
Everything seemed normal?
We went to bed thinking it was just a normal thunderstorm. 1 minute you see lightning strike next to your cabin, and next you hear water's coming up, and you have kids running, just trying to get to other cabins, trying to get to safety. And luckily my cabin was one of the few cabins that did not get water, but the cabins in front of us did get some water.
So how did that happen, Callie? You had water coming into your cabin, and what, counselors alerted you? How did you, what happened?
We heard, so we heard 1 second, it was really bad thunder. Like I woke up to a big giant sound of thunder and lightning striking. We heard, we had one of the campers run in and say, hey, our cabin's flooding. And we had some cabins. I knew some girls slept on trunks that night. Some girls had to share beds. Some girls slept on floors because they couldn't go back to their cabin because it was so flooded in 3 cabins. And the next morning, we had some of the older girls went back to their cabin to see if they could find anything. I remember one girl walked out with her Bible, and she was so happy just to have her Bible.
It's my understanding that you put on your name tag in the middle of the night. What was that all about?
I put on my name tag because I was scared that if water was coming out next to our other cabins, that our cabin might be next. And I just put it on just for safekeeping, saying in my head I was saying, if something does happen and I do get swept away, at least I'll have my name on my body.
I want to say something about that as a parent. My husband and I are both Department of Defense. I'm a retiree, and we have both spent many times in war zones on behalf of this nation. And we have spoken to our child more times than I can count about how to keep your child safe in an environment. This was not an environment we had ever thought we would have to prepare her for. And that comment to me as a parent when she got off that helicopter and finally came into my arms, and I saw this name tag on her, and it was the camp name tag she was issued on the day she arrived. It resonated with me that somewhere those little lessons that we gave her as parents years ago and throughout her life resonated with her in that moment. And we're just so thankful, but so devastated for so many families and her friends that are missing their siblings. She's missing her friends, that there are no answers. We just ask that we keep God's light in the middle of this incredible tragedy, and that we know He can give us miracles, and we just have to believe that these children and these families in Kerr County, there are so many lost, that we can recover these bodies, that we can recover those that are still clinging to hope out there. And we're just so grateful and thankful for all that the National Guard has done, Kerr County sheriffs, police, emergency management services, the governor, the federal administration, to continue to stay on the job day and night. It is what it will take to get to that point. And we know we have months ahead of us to help our child, and many will need help. This is a lot emotionally for anyone. And it's something as parents we owe our child to try to be strong for her and to ensure that she also has the help she needs moving forward.
Yeah, Callie, you've had to go through a lot at a very young age. You've lost friends. Give us your final thoughts before we say goodbye about this experience that you've been through.
I really hope those kids that are missing are found. I knew a lot of those kids, and a lot of those kids the night before hugged me before we all went to bed. And it's hard to think about that. One minute they were hugging me, and the next minute they could be gone.
It must have been good to see.
We will just continue to cling to our faith.
Yeah, must have been
that
good.
They will be found.
It must have been good to see that rescue chopper coming in.
Yes, it was really well.
Tara Bradburn and Callie McAlery, her daughter, we thank you both. And Callie, we're very glad you're alive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless.
If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with future videos. Thank you for watching.